Tutorial Website Builder Content Block, Part 3, Using the Content Block in Site Builder. In the previous video we talked about padding. In this video we're going to talk about using external information and putting it into your website. I recommend using something like Notes if you're on a Mac or Notepad if you're on a PC to collect information or collect color codes. These are hexadecimal particular tutorial. This is some text that I grabbed from a different website. Anytime you bring text in from a different website, it already has built-in formatting, or could have built-in formatting. Your website also has built-in formatting. If you grab content from another website and paste it into your website, the two formattings could conflict and cause you some problems. So I recommend using something like Notes or Notepad to basically scrub the content of all formatting, and that way you can just copy from a different website, copy it into Notes, copy it from Notes, and paste it into your website. Let's create a content block here. Paste it, and that way all of the content in this box has the same formatting that these others do, and it just makes it a lot easier and you don't have to worry about. Now there are some tools within Godaddy that you can use under the third layer here. If you're using your menu, you click down one more layer, you have clear all formatting, clear SSS formatting, clear font elements, various things here. So if you did paste some content in from Word, Word too has built-in formatting. So if you paste content in from Word, you can clear out that Microsoft formatting once it's in here. I recommend doing it before you put it in, because sometimes I think there's some straggler format still remaining even after you have it scrubbed. So once it's in here, you can work with it to bold it, you can italicize it just like you would Word. Another thing with this text designer tool, it floats around on the page as as you're doing things on the page. You can also dock it up underneath here just by clicking the dock button. Then it becomes more of a menu, like a standard menu, and then you can use it that way too. So I recommend doing that. It's a lot easier, it gets out of the way, and then it's easier to work. But using a form like this, you can copy if there's URLs or websites that you want to use, if there's addresses. I use it for saving color codes, various different things. Just makes it a simple sidebar that I can just pull in, grab a code, and use it for what I want to use it for. So, for instance, if I want to make all of these columns the same color, I would go to my color designer background. Now for some reason on my Mac, this tool here with the block design sometimes has issues with coming up. Sometimes I do have to go to the website builder, close out of it, go back to the website builder and relaunch it to kind of refresh it. To get this to come up. Now, we spoke in the previous video about setting padding. Right now we're going to talk about backgrounds and using consistency in your backgrounds. So I've got some color codes here. Copy. So if I want to have consistency, if I wanted to create this block, and then underneath it, if I wanted to create a second block with the same color, I would have to go to that, of course, set my paddings to where it's consistent all the way down, go in, paste in my color. Now it's saved the color because I just created this one in this color, but if I did something else and came back, whatever the last color was would be the color that it would still have selected. So that way I have a consistent column all the way down. Now I can use these colors to also create backgrounds, but I can also change the text. The text color, if I wanted to change this headline, I would go in and paste my color, and now I have that same uniformed color across. Now if I don't want this column, if I want this to go down a little bit, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a content box right above this one. And I'm just going to go down like a space, and then I'm across the board, I've got the same spacing for my 3 columns. Otherwise I'll have to take this and do the block designer and set it for like I don't know, 5 or 10. Sometimes just by playing around with the your pixels and column widths and different things like that, you can get exactly what you're wanting. Your whole site is made up of these content blocks, so everything that goes on your website is put into a content block. The header, this header particular on this template, each template is a little bit different. But in this particular one, I have control of the header here. I can put an image in this, I can put text. I don't have to have a header at all. If I wanted to put my header underneath my menu, then I would start my header here. So you have some flexibility for sure in designing each content box the way you want it to ultimately look. So you may even want to work with a diagram, a pre-existing, do blocks on a sheet of paper or in a Word file or something like that kind of maps out where you want content boxes and what you want in those content boxes to kind of help make it easier. But you can also just kind of once you get in here, you can go from a 2-column format, see if you like that, to a 4-column format to see if you like that. So you kind of just have to go around, and then if you want to line up everything and make sure that everything's the way you want it. So again, setting color codes. I would map out about 4 colors that you'd want to use on your whole site. I would not recommend using a bunch of different colors. I would also not recommend using a bunch of fonts. Your website will come formatted with some particular fonts. You can change those if you want to. One way to change it is to just go in and change it, like change the font to, I wouldn't use more than 2, 3 at the most different fonts on your website. Also, when you're using fonts that are kind of funky, remember, people have to read it, So you want to be careful of what font you're using so that people can read it. And then going from there.